This is Samuel World from Samuel World Productions, and this is my ranking of all 5 Karate Kid movies and all 3 Cobra Kai seasons. Remember, this is my personal opinion, and I would love to know, how would you break all of these down in the comments down below. Coming in at number 8, dead last on this ranking, and by all this, that'd be a fun thing to do to introduce much of this ranking, but yeah, coming in at 8, dead last on this ranking is the next Karate Kid, which it's not that it's probably people's least favorite Karate Kid, pretty much anything, and yeah, much better. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I was talking about the next Karate Kid, which there really isn't much to really talk about this movie, honestly. I mean, I don't really think it's like an awful movie by any means. Like, the actor Mr. Ang is great, rest in peace. I don't remember his name at the moment, my apologies. And Hilary Swank is honestly fantastic, and his role, she definitely is by far the best aspect of this movie, and there definitely some fun-ish moments in this movie, but it's a movie that doesn't really just lacks the impact of the original films. Again, it's a film that you can tell that just doesn't feels like a cash grab or anything, doesn't really feel like it's friends over some emotion, or remember what made the original film so good in the first place, so yeah, easily passes for me. But next, at least all the films above those films I actually do enjoy. And coming in number 7, we have The Karate Kid Part 3. Again, every film I'll probably give a very good positive rating to, and this is one I definitely still enjoy overall. It can be a bit over the top, and not in a good way at times, honestly, and it's definitely not the most compelling story out there. And it definitely has some questionable moments, but I definitely like how they Rooster basically tries to develop more of the character, and how this really tests this more relationship as Manuel than ever before. And of course, see Terry Sliver, who is kind of over the top in the best ways. Again, can get a bit over the top though at times, but I still enjoyed them, and there's still some great fight sequences, especially with one thing it has with some people in the movie. And it's still very well shot, the score is great, there's still a lot of fun and energy behind this. Again, there's still a lot of fun behind this movie, honestly. Again, definitely growing to attribute me a bit more thanks to Cobra Kai, which is also something I'll give you a couple other movies I've talked about. But yeah, definitely not a great movie by any means, but definitely is still a really good film, and still a pretty fun, irritating ride. Now at number 6, we got The Karate Kid. The original Karate Kid. It's a freaking remake. I was trying to do it, but I was like, yeah, but yeah, the remake with Jane Smith Jackie Chan is at number 6 on this list. It's really called The Karate Kid, which would be called The Kung Fu Kid, honestly, but anyway, it's so surprising how good this movie actually is, honestly. Again, obviously it's not as good as the original, obviously, but it's very surprising at how just good in general this film is. It's probably one of the few films that actually like Jane Smith in the movie, honestly. You actually do feel for his character in the movie, and Jackie Chan, it's freaking Jackie Chan. Do I need to mention how good he is? And he's definitely great. I like his dynamic with Jane Smith throughout the movie. The fight scenes are fantastic. There's still a lot of great energy. The characters are very engaging and interesting throughout. It is very well shot. The fight scene is honestly great. Again, not as good as the original Karate Kid by honestly any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a really worthy remake. Unnecessary, but worthy. And now coming in at number 5, we have The Karate Kid Part 2. Again, And we're definitely cover Cobra Kai in a little bit, but the most recent season actually made me appreciate him a lot more, which actually brought up to now on this list, honestly, because it is truly now considered to be a great film. Again, even before Cobra Kai, even before Cobra Kai, I've always liked this movie, honestly. Again, it's definitely the kind of broke up between an alien somewhere, but I still do a great job giving a great love interest to Kimiko, who I've always loved and freaking adored, because got chosen to be a incredibly interesting villain in this movie. And again, the fights are still great. The relationship between Dan and Piranha are great. The emotion, the intensity is still truly daring, and even of course the fight scenes are fantastic. The music is great. While definitely not as good as the original, it's definitely still a worthy sequel to the original movie. Again, we might going to really appreciate so much more. Like, could actually be higher, could be honestly more high on this ranking, even ranking if I probably watch it more, but it's definitely still a worthy sequel. Now, coming in number 4 on this list, we get to the first of many of the seasons of Cobra Kai. And then, so the first one I'm talking about is Cobra Kai Season 2. Now, any seasons could probably be interchangeable on 16. All of them are probably 10 out of 10 masterful in my opinion. So it's definitely easier to rank these 3 seasons in general, but I think these two is probably my least favorite at this moment. It's still a fantastic season of television. We're kind of built up a lot more in season 1 finale where Kreese returns, and you'll see Dean trying to ahead trying to do everything he can to get rid of Cobra Kai, and a lot of the changes that with the characters that went on with every movie with the last season, and then kind of trying to redeem themselves or trying to become better people, or then kind of just going on a really wrong path here. And again, though, definitely a lot of ones that do make me appreciate the other movies a lot more, especially when you see Johnny's old Cobra Kai friends again, and Danny represents the time we enjoyed Cobra Kai in Part 3, which again makes me appreciate those movies a little bit more, actually. And that's because, one, of course, you got Kreese being just a likable villain, but I'll talk about more Kreese in a little bit. As always, the fight scenes are great, the emotions moments really, and Monster Tori is a really fascinating character that's added here. And of course, you got the iconic scroll hard fight sequence that's not on the end, actually ended up topping the season I'll get into later, but it's definitely a sequence that was amazing. And for a while, it was actually my favorite moment from this season. Again, I kind of topped it with a few other moments, which I'll talk about probably in a future video, but yeah, Cobra Kai Season 2 is truly an amazing season. Now, at number 333, we have Cobra Kai Season 1. Again, it's so surprising how good of a show this was. I'm pretty sure a lot of the things about Cobra Kai being a good show was, because it was, not a cute continuation, and doing with the Karate Kid, being my Ralph Macchio and Johnny Lone, and William Zabka, and the trailers didn't really do how much either. Well, I definitely loved this season when I first saw it. It's season I've really grown to appreciate more on viewings and more I think about it. Again, it really should not work as well as it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. There's basically see Johnny basically being a down-out person and trying to live a successful life. That means trying to become kind of my purpose in his life, and I'm starting a beautiful relationship with Miguel here. And then you see Johnny and Danny really get at each other. For some reason, can't just to bring the past alone for some reason. Yeah, it kind of makes for some enticing drama, and you also get some amazing fight sequences here. You get some great characters, of course, with Samantha, Amanda, Hawk, Dimitri. See Johnny's growth throughout the season is honestly great, and especially his relationship with Miguel throughout the season. Of course, we got Robbie, who is a pretty interesting character, especially with the scenes with Johnny throughout the season. The fight sequences are fantastic here, and the relationships are really fantastic. And the thing I love about this show is they pretty much kind of have a lot of characters go back and forth between being like good and bad and good and bad. And I don't know, that kind of be a tiring thing, honestly. I can see why some people get sick and tired of that, but that's also what makes the show so interesting and unique, and it makes you characters feel more human than anything. Like, of course, the franchise never is known for being like super realistic or anything, but it kind of makes them more human, makes them more interesting more interesting as characters, especially if they end up going a bad path, kind of redeem themselves, or they kind of just go on the good path, and when they end up going bad, and that's kind of how happens with Hawk last season, where someone like getting out bullied and ends up growing to like a dick character. Just Yeah, and also again, the fight scenes are also fantastic as well. Yeah, but Cobra Kai season 1 is just an all-around fantastic season of television. Again, the season I definitely loved and appreciated at first, but I've grown to love appreciating more on repeat viewing since definitely show that now considered to be an all-time favorite of mine. Now we get to my number 2, and this is kind of going to be a little bit of a mini review because I'm never actually probably going to do a review of this movie, at least not right now. Now it's season 3 of Cobra Kai, which released New Year's Day, which I'm pretty sure a lot of them were expecting, but it was definitely exciting because this movie actually a week early, and it's not the best season of the show, and I was actually debating bringing it to number 1, honestly, for a long time. If I actually wanted to think about it, but I decided to keep them two for now. But Cobra Kai Season 3, I think it's truly fantastic. Sometimes it is my favorite season of the show so far, where it has the biggest stakes of the season so far. It has the biggest emotional highs of this season, especially what happened with the previous finale, where again Miguel's in the hospital after that. Oh, spoilers, by the way. Miguel's in the hospital after what happened in the school fight, and Robbie's kind of all there, and then Daniel and Johnny kind of don't know what to go, try to fix everything and all that, and life is pretty much going on a shit shooter here, and increase being increased here. It's just so many great things that happen. And again, they also go out again, bring back like a lot of favorite characters and a lot of characters from the previous movies. Again, also I love those shows and how they bring back characters from previous movies. Yet they don't make it feel like fan service. They make it feel earned. Like you end up seeing Kimiko from Karate Kid Part 2, which I mentioned, who was the great list. Something else, see Chosen, the villain who didn't have a relationship. You even see the little girl that Daniel saved in that movie. Yeah, you even see the little girl that Daniel saved in the movie, and you end up paying it back, which I thought was amazing. But of course, you got the lovely Elizabeth Shue returning as Allie, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us kind of expected was going to return after what happened to season 2 of Allie, where you're going to see the animals send Giant friend, of course, on Facebook, and also finally see Giant trying to learn Facebook here. But it seems that she has the movie, especially with her reuniting with Johnny and Daniel, but some of my favorite scenes from this season. And the season also really tests more the bond between Johnny and Miguel, and this definitely has some of my favorite moments between these two characters. And I thought nothing was going to top the final fight sequence season 2, honestly, but somehow the entire final fight between Johnny and Daniel, Chris and Robbie was fantastic. And also it's also best that this also is probably the best because I've been like Hawk and Dimitri and even Samantha. Like I always liked the Dimitri and Samantha, but these are still the best of these characters, especially with Samantha still feeling what happened with Tori and everything. It's just yay. Not much of course when it ends, you basically see Johnny and Daniel working together with their own dojo, which I don't know, I can go, yes, thank you! But I'm sure the show's probably aren't over yet, but it's so exciting. Oh no, as I mentioned, they actually give Chris a backstory in this season. Yeah, they give Chris a backstory here where they can show you basically a lot of his military stuff and figure out why he is the way that he is, and it's something I think it's probably going to be divisive amongst fans, where you just for Chris to be just a regular villain with dignity and motives or than just a villain, but I honestly appreciate on it, and actually maybe appreciate Chris a lot more, but I can see why that would be a bother some people. But me and over to dying, I absolutely adore this season so much. Like it's somehow blew the seasons out of the water, and it probably watch Cobra Kai again is another all-time favorite show of all time for me. And I'm honestly gonna wait to see what season 4 has in store. Just true utter perfection. And now before we get to my obvious number 1, feel free to, again, to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this, and I would truly love to know what are your thoughts on these franchises. I'm wondering, how would you rank all 5 seasons of Karate Kid and all 3 seasons of Cobra Kai? Let me know how would you rate them all together. I would love to know down in the comment section down below. And since I haven't mentioned that, of course, coming in first place is the original Karate Kid. And this is a film I have definitely always loved and appreciated when it came out. And because I did grow up watching a lot of it growing up and remembering a lot of this movie. I always loved and appreciated the original Karate Kid. I mean, it's iconic for a freaking reason. It's reason it's still beloved almost like 37 years later. But it's really the Cobra Kai that actually made me consider this movie now an all-time favorite. Because I don't think I really considered how much I loved it. But yeah, Cobra Kai made me appreciate the movie so much more and such a lot of dimensions into these characters. But even with the Cobra Kai situation, it's still a fantastic film. I mean, again, psychotic again, made like show between Daniel and Mr. Miyagi, which is definitely one of the best bonds relationships of any characters you will ever see. And one of the, even John McCann, actually to Roboli, is he's still a fun character to see, and it's kind of interesting to see, everything going on, and the fight scenes are great. Again, do I need to mention why this film's so iconic? Like, do I need to mention it? So, yeah, The Original Karate Kid, #1 on this list. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this great ranking. Let me know what other videos you want to see me down in the section below, and I would love to know what would your ranking of this franchise down in the comment section below. I am Cinema One World from Cinema One World Productions. I'm definitely going to use that name. I will see you next time, and as always, stay cool, everybody. Peace. Peace.